Okay, so just give you a quick background of what Meristem does. So we do green screens, we do living walls, we do parklets, we do landscape design. So this is our background. But what I want to talk about today is to focus on two main areas. One is parklets, because we've got a big requirement at the moment with social distancing to provide parklets for businesses, for coffee shops and restaurants when they open. And the other one is the use of planters. So it was quite welcoming. It was quite positive to hear the previous speaker, especially Deborah, talk about planters, and I could see the pictures using planters as a way to, replace these emergency barriers. So we did our first parklet 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago. This is a design competition we won for Hackney Council. So this is the one that went into Calvert Street. It was really well used by both locals and shoppers. Every time we went past there, it was very busy. This is the one in Shoreditch. You can see just literally removing 2 car parking spaces provided seating for 14 people, 8 bike parking spaces. This is pre-COVID. That coffee shop you can see in the background called Paper and Cup, after 12 months, their revenue had increased by 30%, that's 30. So it's quite a significant impact having this parklet. And it was not exclusive to the coffee shop. So you could bring your own drinks, you could bring your own coffee, you can bring your own refreshments. But if you've got a coffee shop opposite, it does have a positive impact on the businesses. So this was where we were already. Anyway, so last year alone, we did 30 on-street parklets all the way from Perth, not in Australia, but Perth in Scotland, right down to, we've got Hammersmith and Fulham, we've got Waltham Forest, we've got City of London. So we did 30 parklets last year, different shapes, different sizes. So, it was quite a big learning curve. We won awards for our parklets, so we've been quite busy doing that. But one of our parklets, this is the one on High Street, Kensington, we were asked by the council to use perspex screens. So you can see the perspex screens there to divide the road from the parklet. They wanted to shield the wind and the noise and the pollution. So this was done last year, so we put that in. Another parklet here. So we've had parklets outside coffee shops already. So there is a coffee shop to the right of this, and what they used to do during the day is bring their own tables and chairs out and use the parklet. And we had 8 bike parking spaces as well attached to the end of this parklet. This is the parklet in Waltham Forest. So this is outside a bar. And what was happening is the bar would put their own tables and chairs out and use it as an extension of their premises. So we were already kind of in this area already before the current COVID crisis struck. So we thought, why not reposition the perspex screens to provide a safe distance between groups of people who would come and use the parklets. The idea was that you'd be on one group here, it could be 2, 4, 6 people, and they would be divided between each other. So each of these booths, it's outdoor booths, would have a perspex screen between them. We'd have pre-grown, so these are screens that have been growing for the last 3-4 years. I'll show you pictures later. And so you would actually see the greenery, but in between the greenery, there would actually be a perspex screen to try and prevent contagion. So you have some form of barrier between a group of people here and the group next to you. So this particular parklet here of 10 meters by 2 meters had 5 booths. You can actually have 30 covers, so 30 covers for one business. So it's quite a significant amount of space, because obviously they're going to lose the space inside. So you can put your own plants on there as well. In the middle, you can put your own seating covers. So you can see the layout. We're quite flexible. We design everything ourselves. We design it. We build it in our warehouse in Cobham. So we can do it to any kind of design. We've had a conversation. We've been talking to Fuller's, the brewery, and they're interested in using our parkers outside their pub. So that's a very promising dialogue. This is another layout. This allows the businesses to put their own tables and chairs out. So you still keep the segregation between the different booths, between the 2 different, zones. So moving on, this is the one with the balustrade. So it kind of keeps the cost down. We're trying to keep the cost down for the parklet so the businesses can actually, afford it. There's a lot of match funding going on. We have actually got our first parklet going in. This is the first parklet that we've got going into Redbridge. So again, it's zoned out. So you've got 2 meters between each groups of people, including the bike parking at the end. The other area I wanted to talk about is planters. We've installed about 300 planters in the last 2.5 weeks, so we've been super, super busy. We even installed the space distancing COVID signs and the road closed signs. So what's happening, this is the ones that went into Croydon. They created 30 low emission neighbourhoods immediately by cutting out rat runs. Find a pinch point, put the planters in, and that would then create a whole neighbourhood where only the locals would be using the roads. And it had a dramatic drop on the actual amount of traffic. This is Prince Street in Lewisham. This was before we put our modal filters in. This is actually pre-COVID, so this is what it looked like before. It was a rat run. It often had accidents and cars over crashing into each other. This is the same street after we put the planters in. So literally just putting the planters that block the street changed the whole makeup and atmosphere. There is some very large planters, so we make sure there are space for the cyclists to cycle through the planters. We were talking before about having communities adopt the planters, so it's great wherever possible. We work with local community groups. This is we work with local artists. There's a local artist in Hackney. She wanted to paint the planters, so that's fantastic. They take ownership of them. These are the ones under the Hammersmith A4 fly under. These are very large ones. We've actually put the signposts in here, so again it reduces street clutter. So otherwise you get a company in to to dig up the ground, put the posts in, but this is all combined into one. We plant them ourselves, so we have a very good range of planting, base planting. We've got some of the planters have got trees like olive trees and silver birch going in. These are the very large ones. You can see it going into a tunnel here. There's 1.5 meters with a tree in it. Such a distance going on there. This is the other one in the A4 fly under. The reason we want to talk about this one is that on the left hand side you can see the pre-grown hedges that we install in there, and you can see the effect it has on the leaves. So this is before and after we do our maintenance. Those leaves are filthy with the pollution from brakes and dust and tires. So it does capture 40% of the pollution from the road to where the people are, the cyclists. And this is a new product we've been asked to do. So we're starting off with rolling these out of the hospitals in London. So we've got St Bart's Hospital. We're working with Will Norman's office to put them outside the NHS Trust to allow the key workers to park their bikes outside. We can also retrofit these onto the planters that go onto the street, so they double up both as modal filters and pop-up bike parking facilities. But yeah, we can also put them in as pop-up pavement widening requirements, and we can also use them as cycle lanes. Wonderful. I think that's about it. Contact details here. If anybody wants more information or prices, give us a call. We have a 1-week lead time at the moment now, so we can get them into the street very quickly. And as one of the previous mentioned before, the DFT emergency funding does actually include planters. It specifically says that you can use it for planters, and I think the deadline for that is tomorrow. So yes, give us a call. We'll give you some prices. We'd be delighted to work with you.